Well, good intent from Holman, but he's not able to make any connection. Still, Middlesex need 2.5 massive overs. Try and get them up to some sort of defendable total. Spoke about it earlier, the average score here, first innings of T20s, is around the 160 mark. Game earlier between Kent and Essex. So a couple of brilliant innings. Kent finished on 192 for 6. No current rate there, and he managed to scramble up to 110. Just feel that's well under par here.
Hello.
Change of pace again. And a wild swipe from Simpson. To be fair to him, the ball did scuttle through along the deck, just 67 miles per hour from Topley. Threw the shot a week early. It's in the air, but a huge boundary out there. Simpson didn't get it, and he's gone. Topley picks up a wicket. It's another catch out there for Overton. And Middlesex lose yet another one. The score not reaching 100 yet.
Another back of the hand slower ball from Topley. He's gone for the longest part of the ground. Another nice simple catch for Overton. That's the end of Simpson. He's gone for 11. Middlesex 97 for 7.
Not wry smile on the face of the incoming batsman, Tom Helm. Just 64 runs in 38 matches for him. This is not his forte. Topley varied his pace nicely, just conceding 3 runs from that over. He has 1 for 10 from 3. And you would say that the South London team are in control of things at the moment. Big powwow between senior players and junior players. Jackson Holman getting involved with Batty and Amler. Thank you very much. First time I've seen Gus Atkinson, just 22 years of age. One for 14 for him, 13 deliveries so far. Seems to have a good idea about what he's trying to do, directing traffic out there in the field. That's been smeared into the leg side. That will also be out. Rory Burns isn't dropping that. Holman goes. Atkinson picks up his second. And the procession back to the pavilion for Middlesex batsmen continues.
More catching practice for Surrey. Another simple one out on the boundary for Rory Burns. Another longer part of the ground, but still hasn't managed to get enough of it. Middlesex struggling now. Luke Holman, he's gone for 17. 98 for 8.
Still making short, so he may feel that every run saved is absolutely precious at this stage. Nathan Souter, he'll have a huge role to play with the ball for Middlesex, with his leg breaks and googlies. Just wondered, Liz, there's a little bit of first time I've seen Atkinson. Just
I think, like you say, though, the good thing about him is the youngster, and I think for any bowler, whether it's a spin bowler or a seam bowler, you want them to be clear on what they're trying to do. And sometimes some of the younger ones coming through, you see they're being guided through it by the captain, but even if they don't execute their plans, if they know what they're trying to do, that's a really good sign.
hard into the pitch. Banged away into the outfield. Yet another player sticks his knee through the surface, and that's not good for Jamie Overton. Big unit that he is. So he could ill afford another injury.
We've seen a few of these this evening. Roy Burns had a couple, knee into the surface. Another divot.
Excellent Yorker. Really good finish from Atkinson. 19 gone, 102 for 8.
Now Middlesex will reflect on this. Just realise they probably haven't done enough up the top. Eskenazi, he's been the leading run scorer for them. He's gone for 2, Holden 29. No one else really anything of significance.
Again, it's only been that over from Jamie Overton. Okay, he started with a no ball full toss that was cut away for 4. But he's the only Surrey bowler really that was looking to sort of run up and seam up and hit the pitch, and he went the journey. Everybody else taking the pace off. Tried to go very, very full when they could. The spinners have bowled unbelievably slowly. Middlesex have had no answer.
Yeah, the spinners have been in Jeremy Snape territory tonight. Very, very slow. It's been effective.
So get the feeling, looking down the Middlesex card, that they're perhaps lacking a couple of really big ball strikers. It's a big playing area here, right slap bang in the middle of the ground. Oh dear, that will be a wide. Neil Bainton is asking about the height. I'm going to check upstairs. Gunnar Gould thinks it might be too high. Ben Debenham.
Not a no ball, it is a wide. But we're checking whether
we'll be checking this one out for us. That's a no ball. Seen a few of these in the last couple of days. Edgbaston, Ed Barnard got warned out of the attack for bowling 2 over waist height deliveries.
Okay, thank you very much. Right, gents, it's a no ball. It's a no ball and a free hit. First one. 5 left.
There you go, job done. Neil Bainton explaining what's happening. Field can't move. Yeah, have another go. Scrappy finish to the 20 overs. Third man is fine, they'll only get one there. I wonder if you're bowling at number 10, whether you need to hide the ball quite to that extent. Not like you're bowling at Darren Sammy or someone like that. You've got to keep it away from the swing at the bat.
Yeah, good point. Topley just looking to go full and wide, try and follow Helm, who was moving over onto the offside. Maybe full and straight, might just do the job. Change of angle now.
Come back to 2. Be short, surely. That looked like it was suicidal. Yeah, gone. The stump is been knocked back at quite an angle. I think he's a long way gone here. We'll see from this side more clearly.
Yeah, really good awareness there actually from Ben Folkes, just of where his feet was, where his body was in relation to the stumps, taking the ball, knows exactly where the stumps are. Good throw as well. So Middlesex now 109 for 9.
Best of 8 not out against India in Colombo 2012. Does that in 3 deliveries. Middlesex will be happy.
This field that we saw earlier, too many of them. It's that just positioning of Folkes really well, just to know exactly where the stumps are.
This could be close as well. The throw was a little wild. Stephen Finn gets a chance to get some blood pumping through his legs before he comes out and has a bowl.
He's gone for the long end. He's got long levers, Stephen Finn.
Full and straight goes Topley. He'll come back for a second. And that will be the end of that. 113 for 9 Middlesex have finished up with, having won the toss and decided to bat first. Gareth Batty and his bowling and fielding outfit will be very pleased to keep their London rivals down to such a score. Yes, the pitch was slow and turned. They should fancy their chances of chasing this down under the lights here at the Kia Oval.
Yeah, Middlesex just weren't able to muster any sort of partnerships. No Owen Morgan, no AB de Villiers. David Milan's moved to Yorkshire. Steve Eskenazi has been the man with the bat up until today. Holden, the top scorer, 29. everyone else not really getting going. 113 for 9 for Middlesex.
Yeah, it was very hard work for Middlesex, made so by some excellent bowling. Will Jacks opened the bowling, finished up with 2 for 16 from his 4 overs. Atkinson was impressive, the youngster with 2 for 18. He only got through 3. It was only Jamie Overton that got tagged, really. And the evergreen Gareth Batty enjoying conditions immensely. 3 for 18 from his 4 overs for the stand-in Surrey captain. Right, we'll take a short break, the other side of which will have the Surrey run chase. They need 114. limelight at the other. But, you know, I'll always think of Ian Bell as being somebody that I love watching bat. I mean, forget everything else. It was just glorious watching him go out there and show off the art of batsmanship.
Well, as you say, at his best, he certainly made batting look not straightforward, but a bit easier than others. And Middlesex, I'm afraid, haven't made batting look easy at all out there. Conditions not, well, slow pitch, let's put it that way, and the ball has turned a little bit, hence why Gareth Batty and Will Jacks topped the bowling list there with 3 for 18 and 2 for 16. But top score there, Max Holden, 29. That was essentially against a new ball, so 114 for Surrey to chase down. And the winner of this game will go second in the South Group table. So where did they go wrong, Butch?
Well, good question. I mean, you know, it appeared as though they came out thinking that they were batting on an absolute road and kind of just planted the foot down the line of leg stump and swung their hands at the ball. It kind of required a little bit more in terms of footwork than that. Either to try and get to the pitch of the ball or get back and play it late. And they were completely bamboozled through the middle by the spin of Gareth Batty and Will Jacks before that. I think, you know, just looking at the Middlesex lineup, it just looks a little bit light to me. Light on quality, light on people who can go out there and really strike the ball. And on pitches such as this, which, you know, not bringing the crowds back, it has to be said, but on pitches such as this, you need some guys who can go out there and strike the ball, hit the ball hard. You're not getting pace on the ball from the bowlers to run the ball around with. And so you have to be able to go out there and play sort of manly type innings, you know, big boundaries here. Every time Middlesex went for the big shot, they were caught 30 yards in from the rope.
We've had the double header here today. It was a great contrast, wasn't it? The way Kent played in the early part of the afternoon, where they cleared the boundary almost with regularity, really. Very different to the way that Middlesex, yeah, a bit like that. Doesn't quite happen for Middlesex with the bat. But Middlesex have a chance with the ball. They have a couple of spinners, Luke Holman, Nathan Souter. They have Stephen Finn, that man there, James Harris. So they have a reasonable bowling lineup. They'll have to be somewhere near their absolute best if they are going to challenge this Surrey batting lineup. We ought to mention Gareth Batty, as you say, the evergreen spinner. His 100th T20 wicket for Surrey. What a moment for him.
I bet he has no idea, much less cares.
Do you reckon?
Yeah,
He's not one of those stats-driven guys.
I don't think he'll be bothered at all. I think he's just happy to get through another 4 overs. But yeah, I mean, he showed all his experience, didn't he? Just took all the pace off it. Push one through with no revs on, try and spin another one hard and let the pitch do the rest. Worked for Ben Folkes as well behind the stumps. Gave a terrific display of why he's so highly regarded around the world as one of the best wicket keepers around. Magnificent stumping. That wasn't, has to be said.
This is where we are, 3rd v 4th. So the winner of this game, and at the moment it looks as if Surrey are strong favourites. Who knows, if they win they'll go to 6 points and they'll go to 2nd place. Now it's a real lift for them. It hasn't been a very straightforward season for them so far. They've got a lot of quality on the left there. Hashim Amla, Will Jacks as well. Will Jacks has impressed with the ball, 2 for 16. I suppose the other thing we debated before the game started was the lights now taking full effect, whether that would change conditions. What do you think, local man?
Well, it seems as though it's greasy out there in the outfield, isn't it? The way that the players have been churning up the outfield when they hit the deck out there. So it's probably a little bit damp. There may be a bit of dew. It might just help it slide on a little bit. I think it very much depends on what Middlesex do in terms of their bowling lineup. If they run up and bowl seam up, they're going to get carted all over the place, particularly by Will Jacks. He made a 27-ball 100 in a warm-up game in Abu Dhabi against Lancashire. And he can really strike him. And Hashim Amla, of course, just drips with quality. Tom Helm to open up proceedings. Good heat.
Looking forward to watching Tom Helm. I often hear his name mentioned with higher honours and one to look out for. Nice start.
Man back on the hook for that short delivery. Third man, the other one, outside the circle. Two deliveries certainly seemed to go through okay, didn't they? It's up in the air, but Middlesex were hunting for squeezing the single. So man at mid-off was in tight. All of the inner field were in tight. And Jacks gets away with one.
Just thinking, looking at Will Jacks batting out there with Hashim Amla. We talk a lot about great coaches and players being able to work with great coaches over their career. What he's got there right now out there is priceless, isn't it? Being able to tap into the knowledge of Hashim Amla, how he plays, chatting between overs, how you're trying to do it, what's his advice. I reckon all of that is worth so much compared to perhaps what you can glean from coaches and all the rest of it. Being out there in the middle with a great player.
Excellent stuff from Helm. Really good start. Wondered if at the end of his career, he finished up here, didn't he, for South Africa in the World Cup, and Jofra Archer hit him on the badge, and it looked to be, when the pace was right up there, it did look to be a little bit less sharp, less quick to react than perhaps he would have been in his pomp. Of course, now plays as a local player, not an overseas player. And that was vintage Amla. Flashing extra cover drive, straight to the man at extra cover. 3 without loss from 1.
I was saying earlier, you think of all the great players that have played one-day international cricket. And if you said, give me the one player who's the quickest to 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 runs, I wonder how many people would have gone Hashim Amla, obviously. I reckon sure many would.
Lots of South Africans would have. I'm not sure anybody else.
Well, you say that, but what about someone like A.B. de Villiers? I mean, you know, think of a number of names that perhaps you'd think would be ahead of Hashim Amla, but no, Hashim Amla, top of the list.
Oh, good pace, real good pace from Finn. That's woken Will Jacks up. Really jagged back at Jacks, who was looking to force it away square on the offside, and it ended up underneath his chin. Might have the physio on the park here. I think it's missed the glove, hit him on the wrist perhaps. Amla's another one. We're talking about Ian Bell and his retirement and the way that he batted, the way he played the game. Amla was another one who would take you apart with the rapier rather than the broadsword. Another former England player called it quits today, Graham Onions. Durham, Lancashire and England. Of course, the loss of David Capel earlier on in the week as well. Let's look at Bunny's figures. Just the 9 test matches for him have popped up. His career coincided with the career of some great England bowlers. Also had problems with back injuries as well. First class record is superb.
Think of your county days and going up to Chester Street, Harmison at one end, Onions. It was one of those fixtures where you felt, right, this is it. If I'm going to really make a name for myself, I'm going to impress the selectors. I need to get runs against a side like this.
Absolutely, yeah. You had Onions challenging your off stump, top of the stumps, LBW, nicks behind, not wasting a single delivery. And Harmison looking to fill you in at the other end, which he did on plenty of occasions.
Was there a worse bowler to face in the nets than Steve Harmison?
No, I don't think so. I think people actually sort of overlook the physical threat that Steve Harmison was. You know, he hit and hurt a lot of people. Just so awkward, wide of the crease, tall, genuinely quick as well. Somebody that you could hear the ball fizzing down at you. So yeah, they were a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
When he first
May
started,
at Chester Street.
Yeah, and the pitch going a little bit up and down. And when he first started, Steve, he would swing the ball back into the left-hander, wouldn't he? At that pace as well. He didn't always do that later on, but he was a real handful.
Now, as was this man, Stephen Finn, in his pomp. He's perhaps not quite as rapid as he once was. But again, that height, 6'8", awkward bounce. Still more than capable of giving most players the hurry up. Will Jacks has just been bruised and battered. Just falls short of the man deep mid-wicket. Well, Middlesex have certainly come out to fight here. Not many on the board. Perhaps not the attack that's as suited to these conditions as Surrey's was, but they've given it everything so far. Should approach chasing down one of these small totals. You just go out there and try and blitz it from the start, or knock it around.
I think it depends on how you're playing and how you feel about your game. When you're confident, one day cricket, you go out there and you think, well, I'm going to hit this for 4. If it's not for 4, I'll hit it for 2. And if it's not for 2, I'll hit it for 1. But when you're struggling a little bit and you're a bit tentative and your form's not quite as you'd like it, then this is an opportunity to just say, well, okay, I'll stick in for a little bit and get myself to 20 and go from there, because the run rate's not a problem. Not going to be an issue there. I think it just depends on where you're at, really.
That's the sort of talk that blokes coming in at 4 and 5 hate to hear. I know this from experience of being interested. Yeah, it's all right, you lot, take your time, build the rate up, and then we come in when it's at 10s. Well, that's gone miles up in the air. Good luck catching this. Oh, that's really well done. It looked straightforward in the end for James Harris, but he did the cha-cha-cha underneath that before he got himself settled. And that's a really, really good catch. Middlesex have their first.
Well, they haven't had a lot to smile about so far tonight. That is a terrific catch. He just had to wait and reset himself, and in the end got in a very good position. That took a lot of catching. Oh, they need an early wicket. They've got one. 4 for Will Jacks, 5 for 1 Surrey.
Laurie Evans is the new man in for Surrey, on loan this season, but will be at the Oval on a permanent basis in 2021. in the air 6 seconds from the time it left the bat to the time it nestled itself in James Harris's hands. Heart rate would have been right up there if that ball was in the air. Completely black sky, nothing to line the falling ball up with as it comes down. That's why you see fielders circling under those so often, under lights. So Middlesex have the breakthrough they need. It's one of those you come out and think, we'll just give it everything for 5-6 overs and see what happens. That wicket will give them a bit of belief. The fact that the ball has not flashed to the boundary yet will give them some more. Amla, for sure, Nick, going back to that conversation we were having about the approach, he'll just take whatever's on offer, rotate the strike, get himself in.
Yeah, I'm sure he's thinking, if I'm there somewhere near the end with one. Perhaps that's why he sneaks under the radar a little bit in terms of some of the great players that have played one-day cricket over the years. Sometimes not as flashy as some of the others, but gets the job done.
Evans is away straight away. Second spell at the Oval. Started here as a youngster, went to Whitgift School. And went to the Bears. And found his way down to the south coast of Sussex, where he received some international recognition, or at least has been pulled into T20 and one-day squads for England. Bit of experience around the world in the T20 and T10 leagues as well.
You would probably remember him from your time here at Surrey, but I think that one of the reasons he went to Warwickshire was to try and find some first-class cricket. Always perhaps more renowned as a one-day player, but he's been in search of more championship cricket, just to get more cricket under his belt. It didn't quite work out for him there.
Similar at Sussex, actually. He was on a one-day only contract there. The hurry, hit there, and Amla was floundering, I think. Just the right foot of Helm needed a bit more sting, needed to get the laces through it.
Well, you might have just seen there, thumbs up from Hashim Amla. Bat wasn't really sliding in particularly brilliantly either.
Oh,
the bat sort of got stuck. I'm not sure he ever got over the line.
Of all of the things that he's passing on to the young batsmen that he's playing with, that's not one of them.
No. Yeah.
That'll get through. That'll be the first boundary of the innings for Surrey and Hashim Amla.
Seen that shot many times over the years, just gets on top of the bounce, finds the gap, so much control about the shot.
Just going back to Laurie Evans, I'm not sure he was actually on a one-day contract. I just think he was told that he wasn't going to feature in four-day cricket, but same thing still applies.
Yeah.
Whipped away off the hip as well, streaking towards the boundary. Excellent work, really good. Nathan Southern has gone over on that shoulder, saving a couple of runs. 16 for 1 from 3.
Excellent, terrific. Desperation, they need that and plenty more.
His shoulder's all right. Rotator cuff for leg spinners tends to be rather important. Out. Short and sweet. Harris takes another. Stephen Finn with the slower delivery. Fox's Laurie Evans. Middlesex have their second.
And boy, do they need it. Yeah, just held it back ever so slightly. He was trying to think work leg side, didn't quite get the connection. Simple catch this time. And they, well, they haven't given up as yet. 16 for 2. They've still a chance here. Surrey floundering a little bit. Laurie Evans goes for 1.
And another touchdown for Kansas City.
The Super Bowl champion Chiefs kick off the new NFL season. Live on Sky Sports. Feel it.
Ben Folks, recently back from a very long spell in the bubble with England during the Test match series. And made 100 in his first appearance of the summer in the Bob Willis Trophy. Now finds himself in an entirely different situation. Credit to Stephen Finn there. Completely stuffed Laurie Evans with the slower ball. James Harris did the rest. Fielding really tight now inside the circle. Middlesex fielders buzzing around, making plenty of noise. Exactly what you want as well. A couple of leg spinners in this lineup. Get the opposition 2 or 3 down before you come on. Very, very straight here, Middlesex. Zero width. That was one of the errors that Essex made in that opening game. It allowed Kent to get to 190. Seemed to be getting cut all the time. Slashed away over the offside. Finn has been right over middle stump. Another good over. 18 for 2. Middlesex have made inroads. Stephen Finn, the skipper, doing the job. His captain Gareth Batty took 3 foot. Finn is doing his bit. Souter is now going to take up the attack from the pavilion end. Very handy performer from Middlesex in the white ball game. Comes on at a good time. With Surrey a little bit under pressure.
Good Satsy, good Satsy.
2 overs left in the power play. In the air, but it gets through. It's been timed magnificently by Ben Folks.
It was, wasn't it? What a great bit of time. He was in the air for a little while, but the placement was good enough. Raced away.
Well, a bit of an afterthought, but man has gone in there on the drive, an extra cover now. Mid-wicket is now open. That's where it goes.
Come on, Santi. Come on, Santi. Get in, boys. Three lads. Yeah.
Got him. Amla closes the face on a leg break, and it's a leading edge back to the bowler. Classic leg spinner's dismissal in one-day cricket, and he gets the great Hashim Amla.
Yeah, shake of the head for Hashim Amla as he walks off. Leading edge. Can't quite believe what he's done. He was just trying to push it back down the ground, leg side, enough turn. Not extravagant turn, but enough turn. They are in the game now. Hashim Amla has gone. They have a low total to defend. 3 early wickets gives them a chance. 11 at a run a ball. Surrey now 23 for 3.
Yes, Santi boy.
Yeah, shake of the head from Hashim Amla. You rarely see any emotion from him, but he knows that was a poor shot. Hitting across the spin, closing the face. And Surrey's 4-day captain, club captain. And opening batsman Rory Burns walks to the crease. With Surrey 3 down for 23. An area for which he's received a little bit of criticism, playing against the spinners. I barely believe I've seen Hashim Amla make that error.
Particularly as one thing we've all been talking about throughout the day. It's just gripping a little bit slow. Not easy to play down the ground. I'll give a lot of credit to the bowler. Exactly, and the captain for bringing him in. Not easy bowling leg spin in the power play. With the field up, only allowed 2 out. And the leg side, long on and deep square, so not much cover.
Big shout, gone! Burns holds his bat up in the air as if to say, I've hit it. Doesn't matter. Ian Gould has got the finger up. Souter's got 2 in the over. And this game is now alive.
Absolutely. Couple of wickets in the over, just misjudged the length, trying to sweep it away, goes underneath the bat, and it's plumb. If he hasn't hit it, it's absolutely plumb. He did just indicate there, yeah, and Gunnar Gould said no, you didn't hit it, you're on your way. And Souter with 2 then in the over. Rory Burns out without scoring. Real trouble now, 23 for 4.
Well. Souter just dries his hands. Maybe a bit of dew out there. But at the moment he doesn't care. So right where he wants them. And James Smith, just 20 years of age. Highly talented young player. This is a different situation to going out there and longer form cricket or 50-over cricket. The rate's still only at a run a ball, but at the moment it feels as though Surrey have got a mountain to climb. No, what's an over? 23 for 4.
Well. Ian Gould's decision, perfect. We've got a game on. Ben Folkes is going to need all of his nous. Great deal of calmness. Surrey have to hold their nerve. Jamie Overton down to come in next. Gus Atkinson, Batty. So Middlesex on top. Just get the feeling from that, the Middlesex fielders as well, just close in on that one. Bit of energy and effervescence about them.
Yeah, who would have thought it, really? I mean, the pitch has had a bit of turn, but there's not much else going on. Jacks, Amler, Evans, now Folkes. Rory Burns obviously just gone. As Jamie Smith can play.
Shouts of catch, but it's bisected the two deep fielders beautifully. Just a little whip from Ben Folkes.
Excellent shot. So quick on to the short ball. Watches it right onto the back.
Very quick hands from Folkes.
Didn't look like he wanted to change in the field. What did he want? Just moved him a little bit squarer. So the man at square leg, deep square leg, has just gone just behind. Fine leg, third man up.
Tell us about Jamie Smith.
I can tell you, I've watched him a few times online, really, just on the streams, and you watch Surrey play, people like that. Surrey had a few shots that he played, and he looked like he had a real flourish. He's highly rated here. I think he looks like someone who's going to be a very good player. This is the sort of situation, though, where you learn a lot about young players. We've seen Folkes before, when England played against Ireland, out in Ireland last year. He got England home from not a similar position in 50-over cricket, but when Ireland were taking a few wickets and he came in there under pressure.
Now that's been so well timed. Little shuffle, straight out of the middle of the bat, no force behind it, but 4 runs. End of the power play, 32 for 4.
Well, extraordinary power plays. The game before we just saw runs galore. Now we're just seeing wickets. Both teams have struggled. That went a long, long way up, around 6 seconds of hang time. Good catch from Jamie Harris. Then you just thought this was perfect for Amler in particular. Rory Evans from Sussex, who's just signed. You thought, there we go, 2 experienced players will make light work of this. Then it was Rory Burns. Good decision from Ian Gould. And then that last 4 from Jamie Smith. Power play belongs to Middlesex, though.
The field is spread. Souter's going to continue. Just a quick question on that. With Surrey 4 down, pressure on them at the moment. All 5 have gone outside of the circle that they are allowed. Be tempted to maybe add another one in, just create a little bit more pressure in the ring, induce them to try and hit a big shot?
Yeah, I'd certainly do it now for the youngster. The man who's just come in, Ben Folkes, you feel he's just going to look to just try and take some time and pressure out of the game. Jamie Smith, the question is whether or not he's got that patience, he can soak up the pressure. He looks like someone who might try and run down and hit it against the spin. Long on is up.
Yeah, sometimes that initial burst of success, as Middlesex have had, 4 wickets down, just be released a little bit in the accumulation of singles.
Good, Southsea, good Southsea. Real good here, Nathan, real good again here, Nathan.
What you can do, though, if you do leave the field out, bring the men in the circle riding close.
Little run out here.
Extra cover, mid-wicket, backward point, man on 45.
So close.
Real good here, Sabs.
Folks
Real
knows
good
it
here,
too.
Sabs. Get on. Very good. Very good.
Good stuff from Sauter. 2 runs from the over. 7 gone. 34 for 4. And just a reminder, the winner of this game will go second in the South Group table, albeit with the game in hand on Hampshire and Sussex. Surrey's Bob Willis Trophy season is all but over, really. Middlesex do have an opportunity. They take on Essex, who are top of the South Group in the Bob Willis Trophy, but still. And leg spin at one end. Got them at both now. Luke Holman, 19 years of age. What can he get from this snake pit, which it's turned into? Move again as well. Next T20 to England and Australia tomorrow on the Ageas Bowl. We've got the one-day international series against Australia. 3 50-over games to conclude the international summer. I think we've been blessed after what we've had at the start of the year, after lockdown.
This one. Maxi.
The amount of cricket in the second half of the season, especially from an international standpoint, and the standard and quality of it.
Come on, Lukey. Come on, Lukey.
Indeed.
A little bit of bounce, not a lot of turn. He's a tall leg spinner, is Holman.
Lukey. Good here, mate. Real good here, Lukey. Get out. Yes, Maxi.
Where Surrey don't want to be is when they're a surface such as this.
Good again, Luke. Real good again, Luke.
Getting up towards 7.5, 8 and over.
Right on.
No, I just think they want to play for a little bit. What's the rate at the moment? 6.3. Just tick along. If that goes up a little bit.
Well, we'll come back down now. Dragged down by Holman and punished by Ben Folkes. 41 for 4.
You're going to get the odd.
The Golden State Killer is prolific, violent.
That's why you just got to not panic here. If you're one of the Surrey batsmen, you get the odd short ball. Just tick along and you'll just